Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to do a voiceover tutorial on a festival inspired look on the lovely Michelle here. So she was off to a festival over the weekend, so it was the perfect time to do a festival inspired look, obviously. To begin, I'm going to do her eyebrows. So I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the colour taupe, and I'm just filling in her brows to start off with. So I do eyebrows first on myself, and I also do them first on clients, purely just because they take me the longest to do, and I'm very particular with how I get the eyebrows the way they are. So what I'm doing is just filling in the sparse areas of Michelle's eyebrows, the arch, underneath the arch, and just the front of her brows. Just using short, small strokes and then brushing it out as I go. So I just fill it in, brush it out, fill it in, brush it out, as you can see. I also extend her eyebrows a bit too, so that they're a bit longer at the tail. Oh my god, you'll have to excuse my disgusting hands. I faked tan the night before, and they look like little cheesels. Oh, so gross. Next, I'm taking the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC, and I'm just going to carve out Michelle's eyebrows. I use the same brush when I do this, just a flat definer brush, just to get it really defined, and it's very easy to control this brush. So just lining her brow bone and underneath her brow, just in really short, small strokes. And I just basically go along the natural shape of the brow, being careful, obviously, not to go over any product that I placed there when filling in her eyebrows. To blend out the concealer on her brows, I use a concealer buffing brush, and I love these brushes because in circular motions, blending it out just blends so seamlessly into the skin, and it looks absolutely stunning. So as you can see, the concealer has just sort of melted away into Michelle's skin, and it just looks really seamless and blended. So I do the same with the next brow, this time lining the top. It's kind of weird doing it on this angle because I just couldn't get the right, I couldn't get the right angle, so it was a bit awkward, but I did the top first. Placing concealer on the top of her brow, really nice and straight. Again, I do short little strokes with the concealer as well, just if I make a mistake, it's easier to cover it up. So just going under the arch now. Buffing that in again with the buffer brush. And as you can see, carving out the brows just make them look so nice and defined. I love this step. It's just, I know I say this all the time, but it's just my favourite. And if you're just growing out your brows or you sort of want to add shape, then this is a good way to do it. You just have to use concealer. Oh, there we've got Dan trying to steal the show. Next, I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer Primer. Now with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer again, I'm going in to properly prep her eyelids for eyeshadow, again with that same buffing brush. Just place it on the eyelids and buff it away. Making sure that's all blended out, I then go in with the Stay Matte Powder by Rimmel, and then set that concealer in place with a large fluffy brush. I do a few coats just to ensure that the concealer is set and ready for some eyeshadow. The first shade I'm using is Burnt Orange by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Burnt orange, oh my god, literally my hands are burnt orange, that's hilarious. This is going to be the transition shade today, so I'm just going to work that into her crease. I started off really lightly, I really wanted a bit more product. I go over to the next eye, and this is ideally how dark I wanted it first, so I just needed a bit more product on the first eye there. Here I'm just blending that out to the outer corner and throughout her crease. So I go back to that first eye and just deepen that colour up a bit more, just because it wasn't as dark as I initially wanted. So that's what I love about these eyeshadows, is that they're so buildable, so you can always just go back in to make a colour darker. I'm just now blending out the colour with a different brush. I'm using the MAC 224 brush. Going in with the shade Red Ochre from the same Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I'm just focusing this darker red colour on the outer V of the eye. And I love this colour, it's so beautiful. So I'm just blending it in with the crease colour and then buffing it just on the outer V. I stop halfway to the lid almost. Doing the same thing on her other eye, just focusing on the outer V, the crease, and blending it out into the corners. Now I'm just getting my MAC 224 brush and blending that all in together, so I'm blending the two colours together so it's nice and seamless, and just creating that really nice blended look for the outer corner as well. Now taking a shade from an Inglot palette, so this is just a really nice creamy bone colour that I'm just packing onto the inner parts of her lid, being careful not to go over that red ochre shade, so I'm just packing it all where I didn't place any other colours. I'm now placing it under her brow just to highlight the brow bone and create a nice shape to the eyeshadow as well. For the final step of the eyes, I'm going in with the Napoleon Purdy's Loose Pigment Dust in, I think this colour is Champagne, and just packing that all over the lid on top of that white shade. So I'm just blending that all in just to the inner corner of the eye and middle of the lid. Be careful not to transfer it into the crease or any other areas. I'm now applying mascara. I don't think I filmed the part where I put glitter on the inner corners of her eyes because I can't find the footage anywhere, so I just used the Stila Magnificent Metals liquid eyeshadow. I'm now going in with the NYX Wonder Pencil in Light and just lining her waterline. Sorry about the lighting too, the lighting changes dramatically here because I sort of was playing around with the lighting and I like this way better. Whoops. Now with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, I'm just placing that on her face just to get that really nice glow for underneath her foundation. And as you can see, Michelle has just absolutely stunning skin, so it looks amazing on her. Being hilarious, Mish having a giggle. So I'm just blending that all in and tapping it into her skin. And as you can see, it's created a really nice glow. With the MAC Studio Fix foundation in the shade NC30, I'm placing that all over Michelle's face with a little foundation paddle brush. I actually went in with a lighter shade as well because Michelle does have quite olive tone in her skin, so mixing these two colours together got a perfect match. Going in with my Bullet Blender, I am just buffing away that foundation on her face. It looks like I've sped this up, but I'm just actually super fast at blending. It looks like, oh my god, that is freaking me out. So I'm just buffing away the foundation. I chop and change between a brush and a beauty blender. I just think because Mish has really beautiful skin, I like to use the beauty blender to get that really nice airbrush effect. And I go in with a brush after anyway, just to blend it all out through her neck. And it's a bit hard to blend through the neck with a beauty blender because I feel like I'm punching them in the neck. So I'm just using a brush now to blend that all out and then going back in with the blender just to make sure everything's nice and seamless and settled into the skin. Now with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer that I've been using throughout the video, I'm going to highlight underneath her eyes. So I'm just placing that down with a different paddle brush, highlighting under her eyes, her forehead, nose, and Cupid's bow. I'm also blending that out with a beauty blender as well, just tapping it into the skin, making sure not to drag it so I move any of the other foundation I've placed down. So just lightly tapping into the skin and blending it all out. Also ensuring I don't go over the eyeshadow. And I also create a nice sort of crisp line with the concealer as well, as you can see, just so there's a nice little cut off for her eyeshadow. The reason I do eyes first is so I do have the option to clean it up after. Baking Michelle's under eyes now with the RCMA No Colour Powder. With the damp beauty blender, I'm just placing the product directly under her eyes where I just conceal. This is just a way of setting the concealer. While her concealer bakes under her eyes, I'm going in with the Australis Fresh and Flawless setting powder in the shade medium tan and just tapping that in around her face and setting all the foundation because she has a big day of dancing away at the festival. And we don't want that moving, do we, huns? With a clean fluffy brush, so this brush has no powder on it, I'm not adding anything to her under eyes, I'm literally just wiping away the bake. Going into contour now, I'm using the Hellloooo by Benefit bronzer with the Sigma angled contour brush and just using circular motions, I'm just placing that in the hollows of her cheeks, her temples and then around her forehead. Oh my god, that is my dog snoring next to me. Yes, serious mate. With a smaller, more concentrated brush, I go in again with the same contour shade and just really deepen the hollows of her cheeks to create a really nice contour. Moving on to blush now, I'm using the shade Melba by MAC. Just getting Michelle to smile just so I can place that on the high points of her cheeks and blend it up towards her temple. With the same RC May No Colour Powder, I'm just then going to bake her contour, just to make that contour really sharp and defined. While it's baking, I move on to highlight, so I'm using Champagne Pop by Becca and placing that on the high points of her cheeks, and I'm absolutely in love with this highlight. I've only just got it and it's definitely a new favourite. So I'm placing that on the high points of the cheeks again, in the temples, and then I go back and just build it up a bit more, just so she is highlighted to the gods. So I also highlight the tip of her nose, the bridge of her nose and her cupid's bow, and then a little bit on her forehead because why not. Wiping away that bake now with that same clean brush. As you can see, it's just created a really nice definition in her face and the contour looks nice and sharp. Yeah, Mish, get it girl, just having a little dance. Going in with the NYX glitter primer, I'm just placing that under her eyes with a little concentrated brush, and with the BYS loose glitter, I'm just then setting the glitter onto where I placed the glitter primer. So I sort of wanted to just be like a really simple little like triangle shape under her eyes and just sort of extend it out to where her eyeshadow ended. So I really liked how it looked, loved the colours all together, and it was just like a super simple standard like festival look that I feel like every woman does. So I love it. It's good to be a basic bitch sometimes and just fucking wear glitter, you know. I'm just patting that down and I'm really impressed with this glue. Like, I saw Mish the next day and it was still there, so that's pretty amazing. Just creating like that little triangle shape just to get it even. Going in now, I'm just actually filling her whole lips in with the MAC pencil in Whirl, I think it is, or Velvet, or the one that goes with Velvet Teddy. I'm not too sure on the colour, but I'll pop it down below. But it's a nice pinky, vibrant colour just to go with her eyeshadow and to tie it all in. And I do overline the top lips a little bit. I'm now going in with the NYX white liquid liner and drawing 2 lines on her bottom lip. Don't know why I did this, I've just seen it and I think it looks freaking cool. Then going in with the Urban Decay glitter liner and just filling that in. Here is the finished look. I really liked how this turned out. It was really fun, really simple and just so vibrant, and every product used is just long lasting, which is perfect when you're going to a festival. Thanks for watching everyone. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. That's Bosley snoring saying goodbye.